So welcome back to the LIONIZE.TV podcast. We're in episode 12 now, and this week we're going to dive into a week 10 of the NFL recap and do an all-Lionize NBA team and really focusing on the real stories of the NBA and what's going on early season. Well, let's begin with the Buffalo Bills, who lost on Monday Night Football to the Denver Broncos 24-22. And right after they fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey. And that was honestly, for me, I feel like he was scapegoated. I want to hear your take on it though.
Nah, I definitely think it was time for something to happen. I mean, literally, if you look at the Bills like through the past few years, they're known for their offense, like more so than their defense. And he was hired in 2022 after Brian Dable left. And we all know with Brian Dable and Josh Allen, like those two were able to, have a sort of they gelled well together. And the offense was better for it when they were paired together. And then you make a change and you put Ken Dorsey, who was the quarterback coach at that time, you name him the offensive coordinator, and things have just not been the same. So I definitely think that it was time for something to happen, and I think they made the right move.
I just think like how much is it Ken Dorsey's fault versus Josh Allen's turnovers? Like Ken Dorsey can't control Josh Allen's
He's
turn.
always he's always been somebody to turn over the football though,
Yeah,
so
but
that doesn't change.
I mean, if you look at here's some of Buffalo's offensive stats. They're third in DVOA, first in offensive success rate, third in expected in EPA per play, fourth in QBR, third in yards per play, second in third down conversion percentage, and third in red zone efficiency. But Josh Allen like leads the league in turnovers. Like,
Well,
is it? I don't know, bro. Is it really Ken Dorsey's fault? Like, look how good they are, like on all in all these offensive categories. But obviously, the main reason they're losing is they're turning over the football. And how much
stats
is
don't tell the whole story of the game. Stats don't tell the whole story of the game. You can visibly see Josh Allen. He looks just uncomfortable in the offense. When he snaps the ball pre-snap while the play is going on, he just seems uncomfortable. It feels like he doesn't know like where his first read is, and then he scrambles out the pocket. He tries to make a play. He hasn't seemed comfortable at all in the offense with Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator.
I just feel like it's a lot. Like obviously, there's a lot of things that this offense is doing well. Like even like last game, like a big thing with the Buffalo teams, like they're not rushing the football, but they were rushing the football big time last game. And I think one of their drives was fully like all James Cook who scored on a touchdown, and it just like. But they also had four turnovers, two fumbles, and two picks. And it's just been like the story of Buffalo for a long time. And even like Brian Dable's main thing with Josh Allen was cutting down on those turnovers. So I guess like yeah, you fire Ken Dorsey, but like is who's gonna come in there and like fix Josh Allen? Like it's on Josh Allen to like be smarter and make the smarter play and make the better play and not turn over the football. So I don't know. Like their offense
I
is
don't know. So you think it's Josh Allen's fault?
I think I mean the offense is like major reliant on him, and that could be a detriment. And that's not fully his fault in that point. Like they don't really have a good rushing attack, and they haven't for a while. But he still is always throwing interceptions. Like that's on him. All these turnovers, like you can't be leading the league in turnovers in picks.
I think like as hard as it is to say, like that's just his brand of football. You know, he's gonna throw the ball, and some of those interceptions were not on him. The one that he threw to Gabe Davis was a good pass. He just didn't catch the ball. It ricocheted off of his hands, and it was a turnover. So again, stats don't tell the whole story of the game. Like there's drops, um, maybe not the right play call in certain situations. Like football is a lot of like situation based. So you have to know
Yeah.
what play call, what to go to, and what scenario. And I just don't think like Ken Dorsey was the right fit. And honestly, I don't think anybody that they put in that position is going to be the right fit. I really think just like Brian Dable was that for them. And It's it'll be interesting to see like how the offense operates moving forward.
Yeah, because like I mean, like you said, I don't think the offense is gonna get better with a new coach at all. Like I think the offense is what it is. It's Josh Allen. It's so on Josh Allen that it's up to him to not turn over the football in most cases. I mean, that first turnover was on James Cook, like the ball was just ripped out of his hands. But like some of those things just happen. But in general, like Buffalo just turns over the football too much, and it's just been a common theme of Josh Allen's career. And it's just like if you
But there's
if
also no excuse for them losing that game. They
yeah,
should have
like
1000% won that game, and that was not Josh Allen's fault.
and their defense has been a lot worse after like all these like the Matt Milano injury. He's that after that injury, their defense has been downhill, and this bu
Tre'Davious White as well.
yeah this
Injuries, yeah.
and this Buffalo team is literally collapsing before our eyes. And we're gonna get into the playoff picture later, but I don't think the Buffalo Bills are gonna make the playoffs. So
I think there's still a shot. I think they can make it. They can sneak into that wild card or even win the division if they just catch fire right now.
yeah, I mean we'll see,
They
but
they also have like the second toughest schedule moving forward, which
yeah,
doesn't help their case.
not at all. But moving on to Ravens versus Browns, and this one was a crazy game. And it ended up being I think 33-31. And what do you think it was? A worse loss for the Ravens or a better win for the Browns?
This was definitely a better win for the Browns. I think the Ravens are going to be just fine. They just have to clean up a couple of things. Obviously, late game turnovers has been a bit of an issue for the Ravens. Lamar turned the ball over late in that fourth quarter or midway through the fourth quarter, which ultimately like cost them the game, really.
Yeah, the pick
But this was
six.
definitely, yeah, yeah. But this was definitely a better win for the Browns. I mean, they scratched and clawed their way back into this game. Deshaun Watson played stellar in the second half. Um, Speaking of Deshaun Watson, I unfortunately I think the Browns' playoff hopes are now dead. Like that stinks. That stinks that he's done for the
Yeah.
season.
I mean, like you said, like better win for the Browns in the sense like Watson played a really great second half. He was 7 for 7 in the fourth
A
quarter.
really bad first half, a really bad first half, a really good second half, and to be able to win a game like that, where like just nothing is really going your way. I mean, they had 9 points in the first half, three
And
field
like
goals, and
the missed extra point late, like that just like is so deflating. And then like they were
right,
able
right.
to come back and still win the game. So that was really impressive by the Browns. And Miles Garrett is like, and that defense is impressive. He has 11 sacks on the season, one and a half that game alone. And I think he's like, honestly, he's like the clear depoy in this point, him or Micah Parsons. But the way this Cleveland Browns defense is playing, I know they gave up 31 points, but just in general, like they made big stops late, had a big turnover on Lamar to score points. So in the sense that it was a worse loss for the Ravens, like they had the lead. There were 98% chance to win this game late. Like when they were up 31-17 in the fourth.
Statistics, man. I'm
98%
telling
chance to win
you.
this game. It's crazy. And I had
Yeah.
like I had them -6.5 in a little like parlay. Everything hit except for the -6.5. They had it locked in, and then they just gave it the ball, the pick six.
You're
Like
like the worst. You're like the worst with bad beats, bro. You can't get anything to go your way.
I had it for like last week when I was fading the Bills, like Bengals versus Bills. I made some good money on that. But the Ravens, like that was bad, man. Like I get it, like they're 7-3 and like they're still like the best team in the AFC North. And Cleveland, this is a better win for Cleveland in the sense that like they're securing their position for the playoffs. They're 6-3. It's a tough road in the AFC North, but it's just you like the Ravens had this game locked in. They had it locked down and they just gave it away. And this is like not the first time we've seen this from Lamar or Harbaugh
At all.
recently from the Ravens, and it's kind of concerning if I'm being honest, because
It's
you
100% concerning.
you have to be able to like win these games. You like I just don't like I don't understand how you're not winning this game. Like run the football, don't turn over the football, don't throw picks, Lamar. You guys had the lead late and just gave it up. And it just
Yeah, like you said, like this honestly is nothing new for the Ravens. We saw it last year against the I think the Dolphins were playing in Baltimore when like Tua and Tyreek connected on like two touchdowns. They came back late in the fourth and beat the Ravens in like a high scoring game. We also saw it earlier in the season against the Steelers. They can't put teams away. They got to be
Hmm.
able to put teams away, especially in their division, especially in a division that's so competitive like the AFC North is. I mean, literally all four teams are in playoff contention. You got the Steelers that are playing good football. Their defense is elite. You got the Browns that were playing really good football. Defense is elite, and the offense was starting to click. Then you have the Bengals, who have been playing really well. Obviously, like a really bad loss to the Texans, which stings, but they're going to bounce back. They're going to continue to play good football. So you really can't lose games like this to teams in your division, and you can't lose games like this in general. So the Browns, to answer your first question, Browns better win. Ravens, better win for the Browns, but it's also a bad loss for the Ravens too.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so moving on to the NFL playoff picture. I mean, we'll begin with the AFC, and you're probably going to need around 10 wins at least to make the playoffs. So right now, the AFC playoff picture is looking like you have KC, the number one seed, they're 7-2. Baltimore is two seed, 7-3. Jacksonville, 6-3. Miami, 6-3. And then these are all the wild card teams. Pittsburgh, 6-3. Cleveland, 6-3. Houston is 5-4. And then all the teams are in the hunt. You got Cincinnati 5-4, the Colts 5-5, Buffalo's 5-5, the Raiders are 5-5, the Chargers, Jets, and Broncos are all 4-5. So you're gonna need 10 wins to make the playoffs, especially in this AFC. And right now, the only teams that are really locked in, I feel like, are KC, Baltimore, Jacksonville, and probably Miami because they're all like I think they're all gonna lock in their division. So, but besides that, all
Are we just talking about the AFC?
for right now, yeah, we're gonna move on to the NFC later.
Okay, okay.
But like all these teams that are
Yeah.
in the hunt, like you got Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Houston, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Las Vegas, Chargers, New York, and Denver, and there's only three slots. So which teams are gonna make those three slots? That
Between Pittsburgh, say it again.
from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Houston, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Las Vegas, Chargers, and the Jets, and Denver. Like if you look at the standings, those are all the teams that are
Yeah.
technically still in the hunt right now. But there's only three slots, and you're gonna have to win 10 games, and we're in week 12. Yeah,
Right.
week 10. We're in week 10.
No, 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 no. Week 11. We're going into week 11.
Yeah, we're going into week 11. So time's ticking.
Yeah. So all right, guys. So three teams realistically that I think are in the hunt that are going to make the playoffs. I don't know. It's so hard to like go against like the Steelers right now, and it's so hard to go against the Browns. But I think it's a little bit easier to go against the Browns than it is the Steelers, just because Deshaun Watson is out for the season. But I mean, shoot, like the Steelers, like I just can't see it happening. I just can't see it happening. Like those are
Yeah,
they're just that team that like you just
they
can't
only
believe in no matter
yeah
what. I don't know how they're winning all these games. It's insane.
they only need like four more wins to like lock in a playoff. And like it's just crazy. They're not even
Yeah.
good. Like they're not good. But
Yeah, they're really not. I refuse to believe it. I mean, their next couple of games. I mean, they got the Browns. Like,
yeah, they got Browns,
who's gonna win
Bengals,
that? Like that. I think the
Browns.
Bengals beat them, but their
Yeah,
schedule, man, is just so it's light. Like
yeah,
these
Browns,
teams don't play
Bengals,
anybody.
Cardinals, Patriots, Colts, Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens. I mean, they have some. They play their division four times.
They
Bengals
got eight
twice.
games left. They got to win four more. I mean, you think they won four games out of that?
I mean, I could see them beat the Patriots. I could see them beat the Cardinals. I could see
Yeah,
them beat the
I can see them
Browns.
beating the Colts.
I could see them beating the Browns next week with no quarterback for the Browns, a backup.
That's four games right there. That's four
One,
games right there.
two, three, and then if they take one from the Bengals, Seahawks,
I
or
don't think
Colts,
so. I don't think
they have
so. I
three. They
think
have
Colts. I think
yeah
Colts.
yeah. I think they could
For
take
they have 4 winnable games on their schedule.
yeah they could do it. So that it's possible. So
That's crazy. But I'm not gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I
Bengals for
mean,
sure. Bengals for sure. So Bengals I think
I
are gonna
guess
make it.
I guess the Steelers and the Bengals they both can make it,
Yeah
can't they?
yeah. There could be three teams
Okay,
in the AFC North.
that's insane. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and it's like such a
That is crazy.
because like
I
but
mean,
like
it was like that last year with the NFC East,
hmm
Cowboys, Eagles, Giants.
yeah. But so now we got KC, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Miami, and we got the Bengals. So now you think but
I'm
like
gonna go with the Steelers too. I'm gonna go with the Steelers as well,
Bengals and Steelers? Thing
based
is,
off of their schedule.
yeah, because I don't see the Colts making it. If I'm being honest, I don't think they're talented enough. With Gardner
I
Minshew,
don't
just
see
like
the Raiders. I don't see the Raiders making it.
don't see the Raiders. The
I don't see
Jets,
the Chargers making it.
Jets aren't
I don't
making
see the
it.
Jets. I don't see the Jets making it.
All these 4 and 5 teams not making it. I feel like they're too far. They're too far down at this point.
Yeah, and
That's like
I don't want to count out the Bills though.
that's the only team, but I'm gonna count them
I don't
out.
want to count
I'm
them out.
counting them
You
out.
gonna
They're
count them
done.
out?
They're done. They're done. They're done. So the only
I
teams we got
can't get mad
left,
at it.
I believe in Houston more than I believe in the Bills right now. Like CJ Stroud is
Honestly, I agree. I agree with that.
I could see Houston making the playoffs at this point. Like they could sneak in there as like a quiet little 7 seed. Let's look at their schedule. They got the Cardinals, Jags, Broncos, Jets, Titans, Browns, Titans, Colts. They could definitely make the playoffs.
What are they sitting at? 5-4 right now.
Yeah, they're 5-4, second in the
Second
AFC
in the
South.
AFC. Yep.
They need a they need to win like 5 more games. They got the Cardinals win, Jaguars maybe, Broncos. They could win that. They could beat the Jets. They could beat
Yeah.
the Titans. Beat the
Yeah.
Browns with the backup. They could beat the
They
Titans
can
again.
beat the Browns at home. They can beat the Titans at home. They
Yeah,
can beat the Colts, bro. They can beat the Colts. They can honestly, I can really see them out of their next 8. I can see them going 6-2.
yeah, they could finish really strong.
They already beat they already beat the Jaguars. I remember
Yeah,
that game. They literally blew them out in Jacksonville.
yeah. So what we got? So we got KC, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Miami, Pittsburgh, um, Cincinnati, and Houston as our final playoff seeds.
Yeah.
I guess we do.
So
Damn.
you said Pittsburgh. So give me your 3 that you think are gonna make the wild card.
Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cincinnati. But
Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cincinnati.
the only team that could is Buffalo. But I don't know. I kind of want to believe in CJ Stroud. I think it's a cool story, so I'm putting them in there. But I think Pittsburgh's a better team than Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to take a step back with their backup, and Cincinnati is going to take their spot. Houston's in there at the 7th seed. So yeah, it's looking good.
All right,
Damn.
I'm gonna go with something else. I'm gonna go. I think the 3 wild card spots. I think it's gonna go Houston. I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go Houston. I think it's gonna go Cincinnati, and I think it's gonna go Buffalo. I think it's gonna
Buffalo.
go Buffalo. I think that dude, I just listen. It's not 100% in my heart. I think Buffalo is gonna make the playoffs.
hmm
Like not at all. But I believe in Josh Allen enough to think that he can turn his team around right now,
hmm
especially with this change at offensive coordinator. I think that he has what it takes, and I think that the Bills have what it takes, and I think that they want it enough.
I
And it
mean,
all starts on Sunday. I mean, they got the Jets at home.
yeah, this is like the first time in a while that people are doubting the Bills. So we'll see how they react to it. You know,
Yeah.
first time in a while. So moving on to the NFC, and this is a little bit different. A lot less teams competing, but there's still some tough seeds we could pick out. So beginning, it's Philadelphia 8-1, Detroit 7-2, San Fran 6-3, New Orleans is 5-5 at the 4 seed because they lead the NFC South. That is just despicable. Seattle 6-3, Dallas 6-3, Minnesota in the 7 seed 6-4, and then after that it's Tampa Bay 4-5, Washington 4-6, and Atlanta 4-6. So honestly, I don't see Washington making the playoffs at this point. They just sold off all their talent. So
I think this wild card is right where it needs to be. Like
Minnesota,
this is looks like the playoff picture to me.
yeah, Minnesota, Dallas, and Seattle are the wild card slots, and that makes sense. But so I guess the only part we got to talk about in the NFC is the disgusting NFC South. So right now, New Orleans is 5-5, Tampa Bay is 4-5, and Atlanta is 4-6. One of these teams has to win this god awful division. Who's it going to be?
I like the Buccaneers more than I like the Saints. Baker Mayfield, I think, has been one of like the biggest surprises this season. A lot of people were writing him off when he was named starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he has really like
He's been playing
proven
well.
himself. Yeah, proven that he can be a starter in this league, and which I respect. And I respect where the Buccaneers are right now. I mean, they started off. I'm pretty sure they started off the season like 3-1.
I mean,
So they've lost like one out of their last. I mean, they've lost like five out of their last six,
yeah,
but or four out of their last five. They got to be
yeah.
better.
If you look at Baker Mayfield, like if you think about it, he might be a top half of the league quarterback at this point. Like so many quarterbacks are injured, so many backups are playing right now. The
Yeah,
quarterback play in this league is so bad that Baker Mayfield might be a top half of the league quarterback. That's just like crazy to think about. But yeah, Tampa Bay's 4-5. They're right in there. They play the Saints coming up soon. So, but my pick, I guess, I like Atlanta, but Arthur Smith drives me crazy sometimes. Like Atlanta, they lose these games that they should be winning. They have a lot of talent on that team, and it just doesn't make sense to me how they lose so many games. And I mean, it's their quarterback play is just really bad. Desmond Ritter is horrible, and Taylor Heineke got hurt. So, but like that last game, they should have won against Atlanta. I mean, against Arizona, and they have a much like they have a more talented roster than a lot of like than Tampa Bay, than like even New Orleans, I think. But New Orleans has a good defense. But
I think Tampa Bay has a talented roster.
yeah,
I think that it's just like a matter of them putting it together because a lot of the players that they had, when Tom Brady was there, they still have
yeah, like
offense pretty much stays the same, and they added Rashad White, who's been really good for them this season at playing running back.
and like Derek Carr just got hurt. Like, is he gonna be out for how long is he gonna be out for? Jameis Winston is
Did he get hurt?
yeah.
Oh, right, right. Yeah. James Winston did come in.
Like what's
Yo,
go
yo, Twitter was so funny. Twitter was so funny when James Winston came in because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, here comes James Winston. He's gonna win the game against the Vikings."
he made
And they lost.
he made a crazy throw though. Like some
He did. That throw was a rocket. That was so fire.
like it
That
was
was
like
so
don't
fire.
make that throw. Like but somehow some way it was good. But
That
this
was so tough.
it just like this division is just so bad. It just like I don't want any of these teams to make the playoffs, but one of them has to. And New Orleans, I
Yeah.
just don't believe in them. Tampa Bay, like I I guess like Mike Evans is so good. They have a pretty good defense, but a Todd Bowles coach team, so
They're
bad too.
playing well. They're playing well. They're
Atlanta
playing well.
lost
I don't
three.
think that they're playing bad at
Yeah,
all.
Atlanta lost three in a row, but their offense is so good. They have a lot of talent on
They
that
could have
team. But
easily beaten the Texans. I mean, that was literally CJ Stroud's legacy game.
yeah,
So they lost to a CJ Stroud legacy game. They should have beaten the Falcons, that's for sure, at home. But I mean, the rest of these games, like I'm not surprised that they lost.
yeah, I could see.
Uh,
I guess I could see
they
Tampa Bay
beat the
making it.
Vikings early in the season. They beat the Vikings week one. I mean, all the teams that they've lost to, like are very understandable. Besides the Falcons.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the All-LIONIZE NBA team, and this we're gonna do a little draft where we each select one player to fill out like an our All NBA roster to give you guys a little recap of the best 15 guys, who's playing great, which teams are doing well. So I guess, do you want the first pick or do you want me to get the first pick?
Um, I'll take the first pick.
All right. So
So explain the rules here a little bit.
So we're gonna go all NBA team number one, all NBA team number two, then number three. The number one team,
I
two
see,
guards,
I see, I see.
two forwards, and a center.
Yep.
And so we're just trying to pick out the best at each position to begin the year. So
So all NBA first team lionized list.
yeah.
That's what we're starting with. First team. All
hmm
right. First team. Uh, this is tough. First team, I'm gonna go with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, on the first
He is
team?
he is guard. Yeah, first he made first team last year. He 100% deserves first team right now, early into the season. The Thunder are 6-4, sitting at like fourth in the West right now. And ESPN just came out with their top 10 list NBA teams, and right now they're still sitting at number 10, which is respectable. We should realistically be 8-2, but I'm gonna let it slide.
Okay. When I was planning this out, I had Shy on my third team, but it's all right. It's all right. We'll see.
Wow, that's insane.
But
That's insane.
just there's just
That's insane. That's so disrespectful.
there's just
That's
so
so
like
disrespectful.
hold on. Like let me explain. There's just so much guard talent in this league. We'll get into this because
And he's literally top.
there's
He's top tier though. If you
yeah,
want
he
to talk
is.
about
He
guard
is. He
talent,
is.
he's
I'm not
right there
denying
with
it.
the best.
But I'm just talking about the first two weeks, the first couple weeks of the season. This is a tough pick, but I think I'm gonna go with Tyrese Maxey to join him because Tyrese
See,
Maxey,
oh man, I was thinking about that too. I was gonna put him on my second team now.
yeah, Tyrese Maxey. Right now the Sixers are 8-2. He's shooting almost 50, 40, 90. He's 28 points per game, 7 assists, and this duo between him and Embiid is looking amazing. I was thinking like, oh, is Embiid gonna want to trade? Is he gonna be a little disgruntled after what's going on in Philly? Clearly not. Philly is looking amazing. Nick Nurse got Tyrese Maxey playing great, and the Philly 76ers are 8-2. And I just think you got to put Tyrese Maxey on this list. He's been the star of the early season, so
I would have liked to see Anthony Edwards at
he
that
was
second guard
he
position.
was he was on my list, but I had to choose between him and Edwards. But I guess Anthony Edwards making the second team on our list.
All right, all right, all right. So moving on to what forward?
Yeah, forwards.
Man, this is all right. I mean, Giannis. He's got to be
Yeah,
all NBA first team for the Lions list. He's got Giannis like that. It's
yeah. Bucks
no,
are
he doesn't need an explanation. The Bucks stink right now, but Giannis is the one keeping them afloat.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Bucks. Like people are are pointing out these Damian Lillard stats. He's always starts the season a little cold, and him and Giannis will find that flow. The only thing is, I feel like they got to figure
I
out that
really hope
defense a little
so.
bit. But yeah, like
100%.
I mean, it's been like 20, not even 20 games. Like it takes a little bit for like these guys to get adjusted to each other.
It's been not even 15 games, like 10
Yeah,
games.
yeah. So like you can't expect these guys to have perfect chemistry off the bat. So they'll figure it out, and the Bucks will be better than 6-4. So I guess my pick for forward is gonna be Jason Tatum. Um, he's averaging 28 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, a steal. Celtics are 8-2. He's the best player on one of the best teams in the league. Clear, clear all NBA, all Lionize first team. So I mean, what else can you say about Jason Tatum?
Yeah, he's been playing really well. No surprise, honestly. I mean, he's been a superstar in this league for like the past couple of years. And
Yeah.
again, Celtics have gotten off to a hot start. Like that team is going to go deep in the playoffs. They're going to be fun to watch.
This is
They just feel complete to me.
Yeah, they have so much depth, so much talent. This is like the year for like Jason Tatum to, take that step and if to even win a championship. I mean, he's 25 now. Maybe in like but his team is this is one of his best teams, maybe one of his best teams that he might have for his career. So,
They can use a little bit more depth, in my opinion. I mean,
depth, yeah. Depth maybe.
they got Pritchard, they got Sam Hauser and Horford coming off the bench. Like that's really like the rotational guys. But I would like to see like somebody better than Hauser, somebody that could play a little bit more defense.
Yeah.
But Hauser can shoot, like he can shoot, and Al Horford is super old. So
Oh, yeah.
they need to get. I think they need to make a trade or sign somebody.
Yeah, maybe pick up somebody on like the buyout market later. But I guess you got the pick for our center on the first team list, so I feel like this is gonna be an easy one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with Chet Holmgren. Nah, I'm playing. I'm gonna go with Jokic. Jokic is he's first team for sure.
Best player in the league. 9 and
Yeah,
2.
100%. Did you watch that game last night, Clippers and Nuggets?
No, I don't. I didn't get to. It
You
was
missed
good.
a good one. That was a good game. I mean, like you can that game if you want to like if you're questioning how great Jokic is and how dominant he is, you got to watch that game last night. Like that's how you know. That's if you don't believe in Jokic, you got to watch that game last night between the
I
Clippers
mean,
and the Nuggets.
if anybody doesn't believe in Jokic after that finals run last year, like what are you doing? You're just hating at this point. You're literally
He's
just hating.
so nice.
He's
It doesn't make sense. Like he just knows everything that's going on the floor.
and like the
He knows
gap.
everything.
I feel like the gap between him and like the second best player in the league is really wide. Like I feel like it's
I
like
don't think so.
I feel like
That's not true. It's not like super
I
wide. I
don't
mean,
think it's like crazy, but I think he's
he won the
separated. I
MVP
think he's
last year.
separated.
Do you think Jokic should have won the MVP last year?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Well,
team
you probably just don't like the Sixers because like the Sixers beat up on the Knicks all the time.
Nah, but like it just Jokic's impact on the game, like he's just
He is. Yeah,
so good.
he is. It's honestly like it's fun to watch. Like I love watching Jokic.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
So moving on to the second team, and so for guards, I'm gonna pick Anthony Edwards because he was on my first
Yeah.
team, so I got to put him on the second team. He's averaging 27 points per game, almost 28, 6 boards, 5 assists, 1.5 steals. The Minnesota Timberwolves are 8-2 right now, and he is a huge reason why. And I just love watching him play. He's so explosive, so talented, and he's people say like he's like the next coming of Michael Jordan. Like I see that on Twitter, like like those like memes on
What?
Twitter. Not like in the sense of like
And
his
then so
talent.
it's a meme. It's a meme.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
like just
they're just joking.
like his drip and like his like swagger. You know what I mean?
His drip and his swagger.
Yeah, like they say like you know like it's like the half face of like half Anthony Edwards, half MJ. I see that on my feed all
I've
the
never
time.
seen that.
Really?
Never seen that.
And people say like they look alike and stuff too. And he's like the second pick.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit that they look alike.
Obviously not like as like talented GOAT as Michael Jordan. Obviously, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
Yeah,
just talking about like the aura. People compare that, you know. And
yeah. I mean, he's fun to watch, and he
and
has
like
like
the
a
way
good
he
personality.
plays and stuff and all that stuff,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but
But
I mean, he takes some bad shots sometimes. Like sometimes he can be like super inefficient.
he's still
But I
so
mean,
young. Like that's what I'm, like he has so much room for growth.
honestly, like low key, like I feel like his player comparison perfectly like is Kawhi, especially at a young age. Like they both play defense coming into the league. Like he plays defense.
He loves to
He's
play
the
defense too.
definition. He's the definition of a two-way guard. And Kawhi, he's obviously more skilled, like offensively, than Kawhi was coming into the league, and he has more of a bag even now. Um, but I mean, you want to talk about elite two-way guards slash forwards? That's Anthony Edwards. And yeah, you said, I mean, they're 8-2. The Timberwolves are 8-2 right now, and he's a big reason why. But also, they're playing amazing defense. So him, Jaden McDaniels, and Gobert are playing really good defense. Yeah, Anthony Edwards definitely deserves second team. He deserves first team, but spots are taken up, so it's okay.
There's too much talent in this league at this point.
Yeah.
All right, so who you got?
For a second guard slot, I have Luca. I think that's pretty much a no brainer. He's hooping right now. The Mavericks are also hooping right now. I think that the Mavericks coming into the season, they had something to prove. Obviously, last year they didn't make the playoffs. They've been playing really well, and a couple. It's not all. I mean, a majority of it is Luca, but it's not all Luca. Like Grant Williams is shooting the ball really well. Derek Lively has been a
Great
surprise
pick.
for them this. Yeah, a lot of people didn't think that he could like play the center position just because he's not the biggest center in the world, but he's played really well for his size, and he's been a big part of why they're playing well.
Yeah, I mean Luca's 31, 8 and 8. Like almost averaging a triple double.
He's doing Luka things. Also,
Yeah,
Kyrie is finally like getting comfortable. I think
and we all know who
with
Luca
the
is.
league.
Came into the season in shape because of the World Cup basketball FIBA over the summer, so that was even better. So he's playing good at the start of the season. So
He
I
seems
guess,
super invested too. Like the games that
yeah,
I watched.
yeah, he does. So this one, my pick for forward, it was just hard. I feel like there's so much more guards than forwards, but um, I'm gonna go with Kevin Durant. 30,
Yeah,
30 points, 7 boards, four assists, almost 50, 40, 90 again. I mean, the Suns are only 4-6 right now, and that's a little concerning. But I think they'll be fine. Devin Booker's injured. When Devin Booker gets back, he's gonna take the reins, and the Suns will be fine. KD is just like
yeah,
a walking bucket at this point. Even though he's getting old, it's like same thing with LeBron. Like they're still just so good, even though they're older. So there's no one's better than KD at in this point. You know what I mean, for this slot. I think he's
yeah.
clear.
Obviously, speaking of LeBron, he's my second pick for forward.
Yeah.
It's funny. Early on in the season, Darvin Ham said that LeBron would be on a minute restriction. Like he'd be playing 28 to 29 minutes is what he said. Uh, let me just check how many minutes is he averaging now? I know it's well over that.
I
He's
saw.
averaging 33 minutes. He's averaging 33 minutes, 33.7. So almost 34 minutes this season. The man is 38 years old. Um,
Yeah.
and he's averaging like he's average his numbers are better than a lot of like young guys in the league right now. Like
Hmm.
24, 9, and 6. I'm gonna round up. 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Like that's insane. And he's shooting 57% from the field.
Yeah.
That's insane. There aren't enough like good words you could say about LeBron James as a basketball player.
Yeah. He's just I love LeBron. Like I just love watching him play.
I
So
love LeBron, bro.
he's carrying this team because honestly, like their role players aren't playing that well. They're only 6-5, but that's why he's playing so much because they need him because he's still so good
Yeah.
at that age. So
I like the Lakers though. I think that they're
yeah.
also like clicking now too. They had a really big win last night in the in-season tournament against the Grizzlies. They play the Kings tonight, which should be a good matchup on ESPN, which I'm definitely gonna watch.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
So yeah. So my choice for the second team center gotta be the second best center in the league, Embiid, 33 points per game, 12 boards. That's almost 6 assists, 2 blocks, 8-2 for the Sixers. He's dominant, having another MVP type of season. Like we talked about before with the Sixers, they are clicking. They're playing great right now. And Embiid and Maxey are two huge reasons why, are the reasons why. So he's clear number 2 center in the league. Got to put Embiid.
yeah. I don't think that shouldn't be much argument about that. I agree with you. So yeah, that wraps up second team. Third team. This is where it gets a little bit interesting for me because there's 3 guards on this list that I really like. I think all deserve it, but I
Yeah.
think, I mean, really 4 because like including Steph, like Steph is just Steph.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm gonna leave him out for my first spot. I'm gonna put Donovan Mitchell. He's my first guard
D
on
Mitch.
13. Yeah,
I mean,
he's a bucket.
what he's doing, he's just so good offensively. Like the Cavs are only 4-6 right now, but he is trying to carry that team.
Without Mitchell, they probably lose 2 of those games.
Yeah.
Probably sitting at 2-8 right now.
He's almost averaging 30 points per game. He's just like a walking bucket. I love Donovan Mitchell. I wish he were a Knick. That's all I could say at this point about him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, pairing up Brunson with Mitchell would be something serious.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, Donovan shoots 9 threes per game. Like, that's crazy. And he's at a 37% rate. That's pretty good. 90% from the line. Such a good scorer. It's just, yeah, you got to put him on this list. So I guess I might surprise you with this pick because I guess I'm just gonna shout him out and shout out this team because they're playing well so early. I'm gonna pick Tyrese Halliburton. He's playing good.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that at
Yeah,
all. I didn't even have him on my list right now.
because I'm like,
I like the pick though.
The Pacers right now are the 3 seed in the East. They're 7-4. Tyrese Halliburton is averaging, let's see, 25 points per game, 12 and a half assists, and he is like one of the best point guards in the league. It was actually, I don't know, like who won that trade? The Kings or the Pacers? Like it's always going to be a question for a while.
I think it's a win. I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, but like Tyrese Halliburton is a bucket. He's playing so well, and he's a fun player to watch. The Pacers are playing great. There's a lot of good young talent on that team. They're one of the fastest teams in the league. So if you want to watch a fast team with young talent, watch the
Highest
Pacers.
scoring team in the league.
Yeah,
Almost 127 points a game. 127.
yeah. They run the floor. They're fast. They have a lot of talent. Obi Toppin fits in perfectly with that young squad. So Tyrese Halliburton, man, on this list.
That's a good pick. I you know who I was debating between DeJounte Murray, who's been playing really well, Jalen Brunson,
Hmm.
and Steph. Those are the 3 other guards that I was thinking about. But
Yeah,
I like Halliburton. I think that's a good pick.
I was thinking of putting Steph, but I'm like, I wanted to shout out Tyrese. So who you
Yeah.
got? Who you got at the next spots?
Okay. All right. So I have a question. There's 2 players on my list that are technically forwards. But they play center for their teams.
Yeah, I feel like with this third,
What are we doing about that?
with this third, with this third team, we could get a little creative. Just put the best
All right.
player.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Porzingis.
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 Wow.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Porzingis. He's been playing really well for the Celtics. I mean, he's everything that they hope like Al Horford would be. Like, I mean, he's the perfect stretch four. He can play defense. He blocks shots, and he can
Yeah.
shoot the heck out of the ball. Like he's just again, like I was talking about. I feel like the Celtics are a complete team, and I think like he's a big part of the reason why. Especially
Yeah.
like they're just complete at all 5 positions.
Yeah, he's a two-way player. This is Porzingis' prime right now. We're watching like his
Yeah,
actual prime. This is the best we're going to see him play. He's better than he was in Dallas, better than he was in. I mean, New York, he was more talented, I think, more explosive, a lot more star potential. But what he's doing with the Celtics is he's just being a great team player and
yeah,
really excelling in his role. And that's
right.
exactly what they need.
He understands the game so well.
Yeah, he understands what it takes for his team to succeed. You know that, and that's what's important. And he's really grown from what he was when he was with the Knicks. He was a little immature. That's why he wanted to get traded. But hearing some of the quotes from media from him now talking about, yeah, like I'm not expected to do what I did in Dallas and New York, and that's okay. And like he's okay with his role, like taking a lesser role but excelling in a lesser role because it's what fits him and fits his prime and what's going to lead to the team success. So it's really
They
cool
got
watching him play.
3 players averaging 20 points per game in that Celtics starting lineup.
Yeah, that's hard to do. The Knicks also have 3 players averaging 20 points per game, but
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'm gonna skip forward. I'm gonna leave that one to you because I want to pick up a center
okay.
for our list.
All right.
I'm gonna pick Alperen Sengun. He's averaging 19 points per game, 8 boards, 6 assists, and the Rockets are 6-3 right now. He's playing like baby Jokic out there. So the Rockets are a fun team to watch. Ime Udoka is what he's done with that team has been. He actually got those young players playing in order because there was always a lot of talent on that team, but never real good structure. So finally they're playing together. They have a real point guard in Van Vliet. Alperen Sengun he's grown over the summer, is playing a lot better, gotten stronger, is playing more like a real center. And just a lot of talent. Dylan Brooks is like the veteran enforcer and just letting those young guys cook. So it's been fun what's happening in Houston over there. So wanted to shout out Sengun.
Alperen Sengun is like a baby Jokic. Okay.
Yeah, baby Jokic, yeah. He really does play like him. It's crazy.
Yeah, Udoka, he deserves some coach of the year votes, definitely.
Yeah. Houston's playing great. And they just have so much talent on that team. Like they have a lot of good young players. So they're gonna be good for. They could be good for a while. I mean, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see with them, but yeah. So who you got for forward? Last slot.
All right. Yeah. Forward position. I'm gonna go with Scotty Barnes. He was a little bit. Yeah, Scotty Barnes. He
Wow.
was he was a little bit of a he's been like an afterthought like in the league, but when he got drafted, there were high expectations for him in Toronto, and I think it's taken a couple of years for him to really like find his stride. But I think this year, um, like this could be it for him. I mean, his stats are up in every major category. He's averaging 20 points, shooting 46% from the floor, 10 rebounds per game, and almost 6 assists per game with 2 steals and 2 blocks. So that's, to me,
Wow.
those are all-star numbers. Those are all-star numbers. He does everything on the court for the Raptors. I mean, he's a facilitator. He can shoot the ball. He can play make. He blocks shots. He plays defense. He does a
Hmm.
lot for that Raptors team, and I think that he can be an all-star in this league,
Yeah.
100%. He's only 22 years old.
I was like, I mean, I was a little surprised you picked him. And like, I mean, his rookie season, he's showed flashes of what we're seeing now consistently. But that sophomore season, we saw what it was like with him at his worst when he wasn't making any shots, when he wasn't playing that well, and he wasn't a great player. But to see him rebound from that sophomore slump and really work on his game and shooting the ball a lot better and really huge two-way impact too, and like just play like you said, like the Raptors play like there's not like everyone plays every position. I feel like on the Raptors, they're kind of like the Thunder, where like everyone just plays
Yeah,
everywhere. So like there's not really
he's
like
just
yeah, he plays everywhere. So he plays small ball center, forward, like point guard. Like
he
he's
brings the ball up sometimes. Exactly, he's another one of those 6'9" point guards. Like
yeah.
he can handle the ball. And he can create plays for the Raptors, which is really impressive for somebody, as young as him and somebody of his length.
I mean, like 10 boards, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Like he's making a huge impact defensively on the perimeter and in the paint. Like he's a small ball center for real. And now that he's finally shooting the ball well, we're seeing what he's like at his full potential. And he's gonna, if he keeps playing like this, he's only 22 years old. He's gonna keep taking steps up. So it's really fun to watch with him. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a triple double this season early on, against the Bulls. He had 22, 10, and 10. He's had 30 already this season, 30, 11, and 6. Like he can be dominant.
So our final Lionize All NBA list is first team Tyrese Maxey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic. The second team Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. And for the third team, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, Scotty Barnes, Kristaps Porzingis, and Alperen Sengun. So those are like the top 15 players making the biggest impact we feel in the league right now in the beginning of the season. So thank you so much for staying tuned and watching this video. Make sure you like, follow, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned next week for another LionEyes.tv podcast.
Let's get it.
Peace.